Hi, my name's Quinn, and I'm going to be reviewing and talking about some necessary modifications for the Promark VR drone. The model's the P70. This is a drone that I found at Walmart. It's the first drone I've ever owned. Wanted to try it out. It was a pretty good price, about $150. It's pretty similar in size and look and everything to the DJI Phantom, but obviously it's not going to be that nice. But there are a couple things I do really like it. There are a couple things that you may want to do that are pretty inexpensive to make it that much better. As you can see, that's what it originally looks like. There is the small camera here, and it's a pretty simple little bitty camera. They say it's HD, but I really don't think it is. The nice thing about it is it plugs in. You can actually this is the little Wi-Fi antenna, and it will Wi-Fi to your phone, so you can watch videos live as you're flying. And then you can control from the remote the up and down there, so that is pretty nice. However, the problem is, and I'll post some videos, before and after videos, the camera quality is really poor and the Wi-Fi signal is terrible. So if you get up about 100 feet, or if you get about 100 feet away, it's going to start glitching really bad, and your video is it's not going to be smooth, and also the quality is going to be really grainy. When you're up close, like when it first takes off, it doesn't look too bad, but if you're shooting towards the horizon, it's really bad. But again, that's what it looks like. It's real simple. It plugs in like a headphone jack, and then it has the power control here, I believe it is, to control it. What I did is I ordered a kit off Amazon. It was actually for a SYMA, one of the, I believe the brand's SYMA, but they're very similar to this drone, and it fits it perfect. The kit, what it does is, I have a GoPro and I love using the GoPro, so it's super simple to use. The video's great. Making videos and putting it together is really easy, so I wanted to find something I can mount it to. So what I did is I purchased a kit that came with the legs here, and all that does is extend the legs out so that you have a little more room, because the GoPro is a lot taller. As you can see, here's the stock camera and here's the GoPro, so you're gonna have a little more room there. How this works is the mount and the legs came together. This just simply locks in the same way that this one does, and it just slides on the bottom. You don't have to make any modifications to the drone or anything. You just slide it on and it snaps in like that. Real super simple. Then you can adjust the angle by tightening the normal screw that you have for any GoPro mount, and it makes it so that it sits pretty far off the ground. The only problem is with this mount, it's not a gimbal mount, so it doesn't adjust automatically or anything like that when you're turning your drone. So it's still gonna tilt when you use it. And then the dampeners that came with it are really small and tiny, and they're pretty flimsy. Here's what it comes with, and they're super flimsy. And I actually, the first time I flew it 2 times with these, and every time I'd land just a little hard, it would actually kick the GoPro off the bottom of the drone, and then the drone would fly away without it, which the GoPro is pretty sturdy, but the one time I was on the concrete and it's not real good on it. So I ordered these. They're the brand's Apex from Amazon, and you can see the difference. They're way sturdier. These had a lot of vibration too. You could see the GoPro kind of vibrating, especially when you first took off. These are a lot stronger, thicker, and they fit perfect. You don't have to make any modification. They pop into those holes just fine. So again, there it is with the GoPro on it. GoPro takes great photos or great video up there. Only thing that's going to be different is you're not going to get live stream. You're just going to have to set your angle, fly it, and then download it. You know, this isn't a Wi-Fi GoPro, so it doesn't have a touchscreen or Wi-Fi. It's just a simple GoPro Hero 1. But the good thing is it flies awesome with it on there. There's no problem. It actually seems to fly a little easier with a little bit of weight under it. It seems to be a little better in the wind, and the only problem is you get used to landing it with this light little camera on here, and then you land with this, and you got to slow it down when you land because it hits pretty hard. So, like I said, great drone, minus the cost of the GoPro. Even with the modifications, it cost me $20, I think. So it works great. The one thing I don't like, my brother-in-law has a little, I can't remember the brand of drone it is. It's a really nice little drone. It has a home button. This does not have a home button. And I'll kind of show you the controls here, but I labeled them just because they don't label any of them. And I'm a first time drone pilot, or whatever you want to call it. So it's really, I kind of stress out if it gets up there high and then I have to look away from the drone. So I'm getting some practice in, but I labeled the buttons just real quick so that I had a quick reference, because if you hit the wrong one, you could actually turn the motors off and drop out of the sky. So it's really nice as far as you turn it on. It does have right here automatic takeoff, which is great. You just click the button, it goes up about 5 feet in the air and hovers there, so you can adjust the trim up and down. The trim buttons are over here. Trim forward, backwards, trim side to side. Over here is your headless mode. If you don't know what headless mode is, it pretty much makes it so that no matter which way the drone is turned, if you push forward, it's going to go forward. If you push backwards, it's going to go backwards, left, right, whatever. If you don't have it in headless mode, you got to know which way you're oriented, which is when I've panicked before, and I'm trying to learn to do it that way without headless mode. But I've panicked before, and you think you're bringing it towards you and you're actually flying away, and I almost put it in a pond. I missed it by like a foot, so I was lucky. But anyway, so I labeled those to help. There's also the camera button on top. If you leave that stock camera on there, this will control the camera, whether you take a still photo or you take a video. And then this is your flip button. If you hit that once, then hit up or down or side to side, it'll make it do flips. I'm not big into the flips, especially now. With the stock camera is okay, but now with this big one on here, I don't do flips with it. The other thing on here, the auto takeoff, it says auto takeoff, auto landing. It is not auto land. I read on it and I pushed that button a couple times, and luckily I didn't do it right, because it actually is an emergency stop and it will kill the drone no matter how high it is, and it'll just fall out of the sky. So don't be hitting that. It's just an automatic takeoff or an emergency stop for some reason, but I wouldn't be doing it if you're too high up. The other thing I don't like about this is it does not have a home button. For the price of it, I really thought it would, but it doesn't. So if you get out too far and you lose connection, or you're just out of control, you're not going to be able to bring it back home. I put it in a tree once and put her down a little farther out a couple times, but you got to practice. So other thing that this came with, my kids play with it. I don't use it much. It does come with the reason it's called the VR one is it comes with the VR deal. I guess I should say the remote does have a mount for your phone. It works pretty well. So if you want to watch live Wi-Fi on your phone, you just download the app, and you can do that if you leave that stock camera on there. Otherwise, same thing. If you don't want to put it in the mount, you can put it in VR mode. I don't know if any of you have ever used the VR headsets at all, but it actually splits the video screen down the middle, so it works in the VR goggles. It's kind of a neat idea, but I don't trust myself enough to do it with these on. So, my kids will wear them when I'm flying. Now that I don't have this on, it doesn't matter anyway. It obviously won't work with the GoPro to do live streaming, but these still work as just normal VR goggles for your phone, so you can watch any of the VR videos online. You can go watch those. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. I'm going to have a couple videos at the end of this just showing the original flights with the original camera, and then I'll show you some flights with the new GoPro on there, and you can see the difference. Thanks. Now here's the first video. This is the Promark VR drone with the stock camera. Again, they say it's HD, but it doesn't appear to be HD. You're capable of tilting the camera up and down. I'm not doing that on this video, but you can see that the quality is not very good. When I got up pretty high, the Wi-Fi was starting to glitch. So that's not editing or anything. The video actually stops and then starts again. it's really hard to see things out on the horizon. Close up, when the drone goes to land here in a few minutes, you can see it's not too bad, but again, just not real good quality. Okay, and for the second half of the video here, it's going to be filmed in the same location as the first video, but I've modified my Promark P70 drone. I removed the stock camera that came with it and placed an action camera mount on there, one that I purchased on Amazon. It does have in this video it has the stock dampers on it, which are a little too light duty for the weight of the GoPro. I've since replaced those, but you'll notice just a little bit of vibration in the camera because those are pretty lightweight and they need a little heavier dampers. But you can see it's much better quality video. The GoPro Hero 1 has a nice wide angle, nice HD video. The drone itself flies great with the GoPro on it. It doesn't seem to affect it. It actually seems to be a little better in the wind with a little more weight. Again, you're not going to get live feed video and you're not going to be able to adjust your angle in mid-flight, but I think it's worth it because it is a much better video. Also, I wouldn't be doing flips with this on there because it is pretty heavy and I'd be afraid of what it would do. But I hope this video has been helpful, and thanks for watching.